All right, 6 o'clock, let's start the meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, please call the roll.
Alright, Trustee Maravka? Here. Trustee Sluse?
Here.
Trustee Jones? Trustee Bowden?
Here.
Trustee Sturba?
Here.
Trustee Hudson?
Here. All right, move on to public comments. None? We'll move on to the consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda that the trustees would like removed? If not, the payroll, the payroll accounts payable, payroll pay period ending 11/13/21, $33,042.78. Accounts payable, general fund, $66,725.25. The motor fuel tax fund, the MFT, $183,034. Capital improvement fund, $7,584.50. Total for all current funds, $257,343.75. And any questions on that at all? If not, just so everybody knows, we also have on their special event permit applications from the Peatone Car Club for their 3 events next year, and accompanying that, the amplifier permit applications as well. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion. Second.
Been moved by trustee Sturba, second by trustee Hudson.
Okay, roll call vote. Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Maravka?
Present for the approval of the minutes, but yes for the rest of it.
Trustee Bowden?
Yes.
All right, moving on to staff committee reports. We had a couple of board committees meet since our last meeting. Trustee Bowden, you want to give us the AOC report?
Sure. We got together last week. We had a few items we discussed. The first one was the, looks like the state is going to allow non-rural, home rule towns to increase the video game machine cost from $25 to $250. And so I think once the state allows us to do that, we're going to go ahead and increase the cost of the video machine, since we've got a lot of them in the village. Marcy made a presentation explaining why we need to transfer some of the funds from the economic development
Department.
department
Legal fees.
to the administration department, because we're kind of working on some economic development things over there. Not going to break the budget or anything like that. She made the tax levy presentation. We're going to be consistent with what we've done in the last year and go for the 4.5%, which is, like I said, consistent for the last few years. And basically, the county tells us what they'll allow us to have. So, and we reviewed proposals from a couple different auditors, financial auditors, and we are making a recommendation to the board to go with Lauterbach and Annen as a new auditor, which will be an auditor change, but they audit over 100 different towns and villages and park districts, and this is kind of what they specialize in, and they had the most competitive proposal from a cost standpoint, and services are the same. And that was really about it.
All right, any questions? And then we also had a downtown committee tonight.
You took the notes, but
I do have notes. Well, I recorded it and I jotted some notes.
we did get a couple of options for the parking behind Railroad Street, and the committee recommends option 1, the original one that they showed us, with just a few changes where a walkway would be added possibly to the north side of the street, or the north end of the parking lot, and the edges of the curb line would be just a little bit different, and maybe where the fence area is, we wouldn't have a curb, it would save us some money. There'd be tire stops and also possible like the bio,
Swale.
yes, thank you, put in the middle, so.
Okay.
Did I miss anything?
All right, moving on, administrator.
I don't have a paper, report in your packet, but just wanted to, give you a couple statistics on our last blood drive. We had 22 units, given out of our goal of 26. We met 84% of our goal. We had 21, people register. We had one first-time donor, and we potentially saved 66 lives. So we're hoping that, we'll continue on in 2022, being able to offer you a local place to give blood if you would like to. So we're gonna look at February, May, and August in 2022, and we're gonna have the fire department host it. So we get back to you with exact dates once we get those locked down.
All right, very good. Moving on to engineering, Troy did not have anything to report, so he's not here today. Police chief report, he's not able to be here, but he did want to pass along that the police department is sponsoring a used toy drive that is going to benefit Helping Hands, and also a food drive that will benefit the American Legion. They will be collecting items from December 1st through the 15th. One of the collection points will be here. There's a few others. Maybe we can get those items to the press so people know where to drop off things. But if you have any questions, email the chief. Public Works, we have his report. Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's on the screen.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
see that?
No, I can't.
Here.
Yeah, so Bob is on vacation this week. He just sent a written report. They're working on holiday lights and banners downtown for the holidays. Leaf collection's going well. That will end December 3rd, so just a couple more weeks to get your leaves out on the curb. They've completed the tree plantings around town. Snow equipment is ready. They are working on getting rid of some surplus items, and street sweeping continues on a weekly basis throughout the fall season. So,
Can I just make a really quick comment
Yeah.
on the leaves? Can we remind people maybe to put the leaves on the curb and not in the street?
yes, that is a
Okay.
good point. Because
See
if you
that a
put them in
lot.
the street, they go in the catch basins, and then when it rains, everything floods.
Right.
So, treasurer's report. Marcy? She have
Marcy.
anything?
She didn't have any specific comments
Okay.
to pass along.
So she did have her report in the packet. I mean, it seems like we're going along pretty well with the budget. So cross our fingers that the, increased revenue keeps coming in with sales tax and income tax, and we're keeping our expenses under control, so that's good. Next are my comments. I just wanted to address a couple of things that have been going on. I just want you to know, nothing has changed in this board's policy pertaining to public comment or questions. Somehow the wording on our agenda got changed from public comment / questions as public comment. If the board wants to go back to that former wording, it's up to them. A quick check of other taxing bodies in town show that Fire Protection District, School Board, and Library District all list just public comment, and that's it. And a couple of them have specific, you can't talk for more than 2 or 3 minutes. The Illinois Municipal Code is very clear on the subject of public comment. I just want to read. It says, all public bodies must develop a procedural rule that allows the public to have the ability to address the public body. While this amendment permits the public to have an opportunity to address public official, it does not require public officials to engage in a debate, to make themselves available for abusive or harassing behavior by a member of the public, or provide on-the-spot answers to members of the public on the topics that are raised by the public. So, and also, the board adopted a policy in 2019 while our former mayor was in office. And item 9 says board members may but will generally not respond to comments from speakers. The board president, trustees, or village administrator may respond as appropriate and, for example, direct speakers to appropriate staff members for assistance. The board may comment, take action, or not take action with respect to a public comment at a future board meeting as it deems appropriate. So I feel that, this board has been very responsive to questions in the past. I'm more than welcome to answer questions. People send me emails. I've responded on social media, which I haven't been doing lately because it's just been too toxic for me. I'm happy to answer phone calls. I've tried to keep the public informed with Facebook posts, videos, board meeting recaps. Saying that I or anybody on this board is trying to stifle questions is just not true. One other item that I wanted to address was some questions about the downtown streetscape project. The amount of disinformation on this project really disheartens me. Surveys were done last year in a CMAP project showed overwhelming support to revitalize our downtown. How can we revitalize our downtown without making professional plans? I don't think many of those respondents think repaving the streets, fixing the sidewalks, and new light poles constitutes a revitalization. The board heard loud and clear that nobody wanted to lose parking, so we are concentrating on the Railroad Street parking area to begin with. To say that the board is spending $6.5 million is an out-and-out lie. This board has not allocated $1 to construction of anything yet. We hired a professional firm to give us a design, and it was presented with a phased plan. If all was completed, they estimated it would cost $6.5 million. But this board was never going to spend that money from our own funds. Periodically, grant funds become available that we can apply for, but without a plan, we would never obtain any of them. I would like to see the board move forward with spending at least $1.5 million to let business and building owners know that we are serious about our plans. But to be honest, all these plans are in danger of falling by the wayside if all we hear are negative comments. Business owners, the public, and this board need to speak up, or this whole project will just be another idea that will go nowhere. Ending on a positive note, I was really heartened to see the big and happy crowd at the tree lighting ceremony. I want to thank Game On for sponsoring the event. I also want to thank resident Jamie Scraven for helping Vicki organize the event, the Christmas light guys for decorating our tree, and Whitmore Ace Hardware for supplying the lights for a tree. It was a wonderful and positive event for our community in downtown. That's all the comments I have. Anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, the event was really nice.
Yeah, it turned out great.
I was there, I was at the boutique doing some Christmas shopping, and it seemed like a really nice, small town event.
Yeah.
One suggestion I heard was that it was kind of crowded,
Yeah.
so maybe we would block off the streets next year because we didn't have enough room, which seems like a good problem to have.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was crowded.
it was.
Good. All right.
I don't have
Numbers on there.
Oh, I gave you that.
You did. I don't know what happened to it. All right, so let's move it on. No old business, new business. Peatone Car Club request for fee waiver for all the following: amplifier permits in the amount of $75 for the Aloha Summer Cruise in on May 21st, 2022. The 35th Annual Car Show, July 30th, 2022. And the Tails and Taillights Cruise in for charity on September 10th, 2022. So if you recall a few meetings ago, the AOC committee recommended that anybody who requesting a fee waiver, we wanted the board to approve those. So that's kind of where we're at. So We need a, entertain a motion to do so.
I'll motion it.
I'll second it.
Been moved by trustee Bowden, second by trustee Maravka.
Okay, roll call vote, trustee Bowden,
Yes.
trustee Maravka,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Hudson,
Yes.
and trustee Sturba.
Yes.
Okay,
Next item is Iroquois paving invoice for payment minus 10% retention for the MFT project of Wilson and North Streets in the amount of $172,962.94. And Troy was, very happy with the work they did, and also it came in unbelievably under budget, so,
The less MFT funds we have to appropriate.
yeah, the better, so.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to approve that.
I'll motion it.
Second.
Been moved by trustee Maravka, second by trustee Sluse.
all right, roll call vote, trustee Maravka,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Bowden,
Yes.
and trustee Sturba.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
All right, so next item on the agenda is a review of the H.A. Ratchet Mill exterior deck restoration project structural engineering proposal. So just to give a little history, every year we budget $5,000 or so to help with the maintenance of the mill. And this year, they would like to use that money to have a structural engineering design done to come up with plans to replace the decking of, so I don't know, Nick, you wanna say anything more, or?
That's kind of about it, because what we're gonna do is get the drawings and then have 3 companies bid on it and then kind of go from there. We have some money in our account too, plus I wanna do some sort of fundraiser and then also maybe in coordination with you guys, because it basically, as you can tell, our logo is the mill. So we need to keep that around for a while. So that's kind of the next step we want to do. And next year's our 150th anniversary, so we're going to try to get it done before the Mill Fest in the fall as an attraction. And then also a lot of people have been asking us about doing weddings there, taking pictures out there, so it's going to bring more people into Peatone.
So you related to me, the condition of that deck is pretty poor right now, right?
It is. I don't allow anybody to go out there but myself.
Okay.
So first step would be get the drawings.
Okay, so this would be approval of use of the $5,000 that we budgeted to have this structural engineering study done.
I'll motion that.
Second.
So moved by trustee Maravka, second by trustee Sturba.
Okay, roll call vote. Trustee Maravka,
Yes.
trustee Sturba,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Hudson,
Yes.
and trustee Bowden.
Yes.
Okay,
All right, moving on to resolutions, resolution 21R13. This would be a resolution approving the auditing services of Lauterbach and Hammond LLP to commence in 2022 and renewable until 2026. So as trustee Bowden said, the AOC reviewed some of the, I guess they're called, from bids. We sent out an RFP, or request for proposals, for a new auditor, and we received a couple back, and not only was this the low bid, but it seems like it's, like he said, a lot of people haven't done, so it's not just like a one-man operation. So it's really best practices every once in a while to switch your auditor, just to keep everybody clean and happy. So, yeah, I'll entertain a motion to accept this.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Sluse, second by trustee Maravka.
okay, roll call vote. Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Maravka?
Yes.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Bowden?
Yes.
And trustee Sturba?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, next is ordinances. An ordinance approving a letter of engagement for engaging bond counsel with Ice Miller LLP. So, and this would be 2127. So this is for our I-57 project. We are going to have to put money up front to fix up 88th Avenue and the I-57 ramps and turn lanes. And that's gonna be probably around $4 million to do. Now, we've applied for a grant for this, you know, we were expecting to hear, you know, months ago, but it's still, did you check recently, or? We haven't heard anything on that, so we're kind of assuming we're not gonna get that grant, but who knows? But even if, so we need to be prepared to pay for those improvements. Now, we can either, you know, take that money out of our $12 million checking account that we have, and just pay cash for that, and eventually we will be reimbursed by TIF funds and BDD funds. The other option is engaging a bond counsel and, you know, selling bonds, and keeping the other money in the bank and then just paying it off over a period of time, so. This process, so tonight, if we approve this, it just kind of gets the process rolling. It doesn't mean we're approving the sale of any bonds at all. We're just retaining the council to look into it, so.
Well, the 4 million will come out of the 12 million that we're already spending 6 million out of, right? So we'll be spending 10 million then? If the 6 million for downtown's coming out of the aqua money, wasn't it?
Well, I just said we're not spending $6 million.
On downtown?
No.
No?
I mean, the most we'll take out of this $1.5 million. So, I mean, this is, you know, this is gonna open up I-57, you know, west side of I-57, and it's something that a lot of people have been anxious to have happen, and so.
The state's requiring us to pay for the ramps to allow us to develop the travel center.
Correct.
The travel center will generate sales tax.
Sales tax
We will use to pay these off.
and property tax funds that we can use to repay us.
So we'll get the money back eventually,
Yep.
just not right away, but we'll get it back.
Yep.
And we'll finally be able to develop the west side
Right.
after all these years.
And of course, to do the bonds, it's gonna cost us. So, do we know about what that might be? Or is that part of this process?
I think that's part of the process, yeah, because once we engage the bond counsel, you know, then we can send out a request for proposals for
Underwriter.
an underwriter, and at that point, you know, we'll kind of know what we're looking at. I mean, if you don't want to go this route, then, you know, we can just say we're going to take it out of our, you know, savings, so.
I will make a motion that we retain the Ice Miller Bond Council.
Second.
Moved by trustee Bowden, second by trustee Sluse.
Okay,
And this is 2127.
roll call vote, trustee Bowden,
Yes.
trustee Sluse.
Yes.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Maravka,
Yes.
and trustee Sturba.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
Just a note on the ordinance, Mr. Ham's name is still on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you corrected that, right?
What?
So you
Oh,
wanna
yes,
call it-
yes,
Yeah, thank you.
it's corrected.
Next, ordinance 2128. This would be an ordinance approving the transfer of funds from the Economic Development Department legal fees to the Administrative Department legal fees in the amount of $25,000. And again, this came from the AOC committee. Our attorney's fees are running higher this year in the Administrative Department. So we need to transfer some funds into there from the Economic Development Department, where we have plenty of money budgeted. Just so you know, some of the reasons why our attorney fees in the Administrative Department are running higher is we did some annexations of properties early this year. And that took some time to do that. We had a long negotiation with a new local union. And finally, Karen is new, and there's a learning curve to the job, and so there's been a lot of consultations with our attorneys. We found out that our previous clerk, did a lot of stuff that, she knew what she was doing, and so we just are kind of having to learn all over again, right? So I think those are the big reasons why we are running a little over budget, and also we're doing stuff, we really don't have any choice. If we're not, if we don't wanna spend money on legal fees, then we just don't do anything, so. So anyway, so that's kind of why we wanna move these funds away.
And it's not an unusual occurrence where, you just, we, at the beginning, when we make the budget, we're doing projections, and so, like the mayor said, things come up that you don't anticipate, and because we have an appropriations ordinance, we just have to account for anything that, wasn't in the appropriations ordinance, so we're just kind of cleaning house and doing it all, doing it as we go versus waiting till like the end of the year and doing it then and getting it straight, so. It's a pretty normal occurrence that maybe you estimate in a line item. So I just don't want you to be alarmed.
No, we're just moving it from one account to the other.
Right,
That's all we're doing.
correct.
So, I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved by trustee Bowden, second by trustee Marevka.
Okay, roll call vote, trustee Bowden,
Yes.
trustee Marevka,
Yes, what's the number on that one?
2128.
That's what I wanted to make sure. Thank you. Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Hudson,
Yes.
and trustee Sturba.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
All right, any questions of the press?
No.
Any other items from the board? All right, wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and happy holiday season, and take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Sluse, second by trustee Marevka.
Okay, roll call vote, trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Marevka,
Yes.
trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Bowden,
Yes.
and trustee Sturba.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you.